Hey there. So today I want to talk to you about Green Valley, Arizona. It's one of the top rated places to retire. And a lot of people always ask me the question, hey Tom, why Green Valley? What is there to do there? So we're kind of going to show you an explainer video today by recording on my screen so that we all can see what we're talking about. But essentially what we're looking at here is Green Valley. Now the first point I want to cover as we go through the map is that Green Valley is in southern Arizona. So as you can see, there's Arizona as a state as a whole. If you can still see the little red dot, follow my pointer. As we go in, south of Tucson, and that red line, that's Green Valley. As you notice, it's a very long city, and it's not very wide at points. But let's run you up to Tucson here. What I was just saying real fast was, see this crux? This is where I-19 and I-10 meet. And then this is downtown Tucson area. Fabulous place for like everything. I mean, Tucson Convention Center, all the new contemporary food and cooking is there. Tucson Children's Museum, Presidio de Agustin, the Tucson Museum of Art. We're talking a lot of activities. Other fun thing is the Mercado is over here. It's one of those things I always recommend to people is the Mercado San Agustin. If they're new to town, want to bring some friends in and kind of see what the place is like. So that's what some of the stuff that we're looking at. And just so you know, there is no water in this river, so don't get excited. It is the Santa Cruz, but it's not there. Now, not why we came to talk at all, but let's zoom a little bit back out and let's get back down to our Green Valley here, okay? So Green Valley's connected from I-19 all the way north to Tucson. From where I live in Green Valley, which is more towards this borderline right here, it takes me 18 minutes to get where I need to be. Now, usually when people come to Green Valley, I try to take them through the whole place and we do what I call a nickel tour. And this is kind of what I want to do with you today is give you the nickel tour of what I think Green Valley is. And so you can kind of see and get an idea of what we're looking at here. So, as we zoom out, Green Valley consists of 1, 2, and then it's not showing, there's more than that, but there's Canoa Ranch Golf Course, San Ignacio Golf Club, there's Desert Hills Golf Club, which is private, and then if we go up here, you're going to hit, well, I don't know, why is it not wanting to show it the way I would do it? Okay, so then you also get the Springs at Santa Rita. This is another golf course down here known as here we go, Torres Blancas, and then we go back into here, then you have the Green Valley Country Club, the Haven Golf Course. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Oh, 6, of course, Quail Creek. And a lot of people talk about Quail Creek, but they don't really know where it's located. So let's go exit by exit, and I'm going to kind of walk you through what we have as far as amenities go. Just to the north, we start here at exit 75, and that is Cerrito Road. Now, the reason why we want to touch on Cerrito Road is because it is where Northwest Medical Center is. And basically what we're looking at here is this is the hospital. So right off the freeway, super easy access to get to. It's like you get off the freeway, you make a right, and this is the second stoplight, and trust me, the ambulances don't stop for any of this. So just something that you want to think about, but it is kind of a nice little area. There's a lot of new home development going on down the street. That's Wrightston Ridge Elementary. That's where my daughter goes to school. But as you can see, Green Valley and Cerrito is a developing area. That being said, you have Fry's Marketplace over here. And if we were to take a peek into that, we would just go over here and want to just say like, hey, show me Fry's. Well, so this is the Fry's Marketplace, essentially. Well, that didn't do a very good job of showing us where. Let's see if we click here. There we go. That person probably wasn't real thrilled. Anyways, Fry's Marketplace. There's a little bit of shopping over here. There's Pub 22, if we can get over to it. There's the Chase Bank. But essentially, here's Pub 22, It gives 4.5 stars. It's anywhere from 10 to 20. I think that's a drink, not necessarily per person. So, but it is a cocktail, dine-in, restaurant, takeout location. Great place to eat, especially a fun place to go watch a game with friends. The other element here that I'd want to talk to you about would be Rancho Cerrito Lake. Now, ever since this video is geared towards retirees and people that are thinking about retiring to Green Valley, I'm not going to get too much detail other than this is the lake, which is phenomenal. It's about 1.5 miles. I walk it with my dog every morning. And Rancho, just if you're curious, there is a big, huge water slide in this next to this lake at their private park. So just something to keep in mind. If you're thinking about, potentially moving to the area, it is very easy to access. As you can see, you just go down this main drag right here, and it'll take you right over there. So then we have Cerrito Road. Cerrito Road goes all the way left over here to Mission. And Mission is a back way into Tucson. And then it continues quite a ways, actually, almost all the way out to the far east Tucson. So it's very easy to access. But now, this is all non-age restricted. And so a lot of people don't realize that this is non-age restricted, this is non-age restricted. But there is an exception to this rule, and it is called the Rancho Resort. So we have Fry's on the right side here, the Northwest Medical Center, and then you've got this little odd pocket called Rancho Resort. And what is Rancho Resort? Well, let's see if we can get a picture of it here. I'll drag my little guy out here and put you right there on the corner. Nope, he don't like us. Anywhere in Rancho Resort? How about take me to the main intersection here? Can you go there, guy? Yeah. All right. So this is La Cañada and Rancho Resort. You can see very clean and open. That's our entrance into Rancho Resort. How far is it going to let us go? No. Anyways, we're spending way too much time on Rancho Resort. But it's a nice part of town. It's a nice little retirement area. It does have some HOA fees. I have done some business in there. It was an interesting story. They were actually originally designed to be on leaseholds, one of the few things that were leaseholds here, and then eventually they converted them back over into full-time purchases. But as we travel down I-19, you're going to see that La Cañada and I-19 run parallel. And that's on purpose because La Cañada actually was a very main throughway throughout the whole community here. And it's going to go along the whole setting. Now, right here, we're all non-age restricted, okay? Both sides of this until we get down to Duval Mine Road. And Duval Mine Road is a main thoroughfare for Green Valley. Now, the thing that's interesting about this, and let's see if we can flip our map to a satellite image. Ooh, much better. Now, if we look here at the satellite image, this is Duval Mine and the freeway. On the right side here, this was a movie theater. Little news update, that's going to become a Texas, not a Texas Roadhouse, but what's it called? It's going to be, basically it's one of those movie theaters that you can go into, sit down and have dinner, and they'll get to watch the latest films. Taco Bell. There is, if we zoom in here, a place called El Goyitas, which is in this long, thin strip. Interesting Mexican food. It's New Mexico-based cuisine, something to look at. Also, we have our Planet Fitness and Ashley Furniture Store, and then there's El Patio, which is a Mexican restaurant, and then Two Girls Pizzeria right here, and a couple other items along there. So if we're traveling here, this big corridor kind of runs the gambit as far as shopping goes. You have Denny's, Culver's. This is my friend right here, Dutch Brothers. Nice little drive-through setup. And then you have Petco, Ace Hardware, clothing stores, cell phone stores, Carl's Jr. This massive beast is a super Walmart. So really you can get about anything you need there. Rigoberto's Mexican food. But if you zoom in, you'll find this little strip mall has quite a few things. There's a nail salon. There's a Jersey Mike's. So a lot of people don't realize there's Jersey Mike's in town, which I think is really good. And then if we go continue down this corridor, this is the last little patch on the left-hand side. There's a Goodwill, there's a Supercuts, there's a Rubs Massage. This is a Walgreens right here, and then this is a tire center. This, I believe, is a Boot Barn, which is kind of an interesting addition, plus a, this is a Wells Fargo. Don't bank there, so as you can tell, it's like hard for me to remember what it is. Then when we get across the street here, this is where things get super interesting. This is the newest mall development in Green Valley, and the reason why I want to talk about it is because it's got a lot of really interesting, great things. For example, up here is a super Circle K of some kind. There they have about everything. Then we hit a Starbucks. Then we hit a Chipotle. Then we hit a Popeyes. And then if we keep going over here, there's a Mod Pizza as well, plus another urgent care. There's a dentistry on the end here. And then now we're going to get to some of the highlights. A PetSmart. There is a Sprouts. There's a TJ Maxx and a Beals. So like if you have Sprouts and TJ Maxx, I would say you know you've made it. So just something totally to keep in mind there. But we have one. So what we're looking at, if we follow this line, we get over here to the other side of the road, there is more commercial development here. On the end here, this is a car dealership. There's a hotel here. This is an Arby's. This is a Chevron. This is a car wash and a Burger King. And then this is a strip mall that has a gym. It has a veterinaries in there too. And then also there's a Domino's Pizza, I believe. And then once we get out of here, all this new construction, this is all going to be massive storage facilities on the map, which are actually there. They just completed them within the last few months, so I don't think Google's caught up quite yet. And then Take 5 oil change is pretty cool. I actually got my oil changed in the Beamer there recently. They did a great job. Papa Murphy's, Sushi Lin, which is a sushi shop. And then you have a big old Safeway and a Starbucks. Now, big secret for you Starbucks, if you're a coffee drinker like I am, they have Starbucks or a brand of Starbucks inside every Safeway in town. There's 2 Safeways in town. We'll get to that as we keep going. There's also this Jerry Bob's. And if you're not familiar with Jerry Bob's, it's very good. Great little breakfast spot. They advertise a Friday fish fry. I've never tried it, but it's something that's on my list. And then also I want to talk about, real quick here, Eegees. Now this is like an urban legend place, but it's really interesting. So there's Eegees. It's over behind the Circle K. I think it's phenomenal. Best hoagies you ever have had. And they make this big slushy thing called an Eegee. Now, story with these guys, to rewind a little bit, was back in the 70s, 2 guys going to the U of A were drug dealers. And they were making all their money selling drugs to students at the university. And they were trying to figure out a way that they could launder their money. And so how and what they ended up doing, and this is the urban legend part of it, is they opened these Eegees. And apparently they were using them to launder money until they realized they were making way more money actually selling the food. So Eegees became a local franchise. There's several of them throughout Tucson, and they have kind of a cult-like following. There's a ranch fries they do that's phenomenal, but I personally like their original grinder, and I have that all the time whenever I go there. So just something to keep in mind. Now we're going to get like kind of in the neighborhood. So like if we were traveling down, there's going to be a little strip mall over here. Manuel's Mexican restaurant. This is all Calle de las Tiendas. People absolutely love this area. Oops, I didn't mean to click on Green Valley RV Resort. Let's just keep going down 19. As we travel through 19, you'll see on your right, little green spots. That is the Green Valley Country Club. We're coming up on the Twin Golf Course, which is the Haven Golf Course. And then we get to our next exit, which is Esperanza. Now, this was the original exit in Green Valley. When I was a kid, and I've lived in Green Valley for 47 years, this was the only way you got off the road, was you would more or less get off on Esperanza. There was dirt and Continental, and they built an off-ramp there pretty quickly. And then the Duval Mine was there as well, because that was there for the mining people, and also the top secret missile silo, which nobody was supposed to know about. Esperanza was paved, and so was La Cañada. But when you got to Continental, which is further south, let me zoom out for you. So to give you an idea, here's Continental. This was dirt and no light. This is Duval Mine Road, dirt and no light. Paved throughout here. Now we talk about the Maxon Brothers a little bit and their original vision and dream for Green Valley. My dad worked for them in the late 60s. This was originally their sales office, which later became the American Family Restaurant. They have a little speakeasy hidden in the back, just in case anybody wants to know. But that was where they actually started selling units out of. And the part of their plan was they came in here and developed this section called the villas. And you can watch other videos connected to the villas if you're interested. Price point for these, just so you know, is about $100,000 to $150,000 right now. And if you're patient, you can usually find a unit that drops underneath. But this is on the American Historical Registry. And these homes are master planned. Each unit has 4 units in them. As you can see, there's a pool or there's a park. Pool or park. And they were built in the early to mid 60s. And the Maxon Brothers, just so you know, were these 2 developers that came out of Chicago and had this big dream of taking nothing but pecan groves and converting it into what we see today as Green Valley. So what they did is they had teachers, they advertised and marketed towards them and said, hey, come move to Green Valley and we're going to rent you ridiculously cheap condos for the year. And so these were condo rentals. And then what they would do is part of their process is they would come over and start selling these homes to them. Now, I don't know how much these homes originally sold for, but I'm sure it was a ridiculously cheap amount of money. And once they got these neighborhoods kind of established with homes going for sale in here, which they're still a great steal. I mean, you can live on the golf course with mountain views for $200,000 if you're lucky. You know, it's honestly, I know I get weird about, my wife thinks I'm nuts, but I'd like to move into one of these homes and retire one day. But once they established that, then they went ahead and started selling the villas. Now, my grandmother owned a villa. I don't mind sharing the name because we no longer own it, but it was 386A right here. And this one sold for, I think like $1,000. No, it wasn't. That was like $7,000 originally. I learned to swim in this pool right here. I know I'm not trying to go down memory lane, but I'm just saying that, you know, this town is phenomenal. It's been around for a long time. If you go right down the street, we're going back to Esperanza here, you're going to see this is the Green Valley Mall. And this is, so you just know what else we've got. We've got a garden here. We've got Caremore, which is kind of not really a doctor's office, but there are some doctors there, I believe. This is the Best Western in Green Valley. I worked there in high school. I think this is where you need to go if you want to actually stay and explore Green Valley. It's a great little, it's a not a 5-star hotel, but it's a good 4-star hotel with a nice pool, and you can walk to everything you need. There's Trattoria Ragazzi's, which is an Italian restaurant, Ace Hardware, Arizona Blood Specialists, the Srita Gym, Madera Sunrise Cafe is getting like 5 stars from me right now. Their baked goods are phenomenal, and they do a fantastic lunch. I meet a lot of clients there. The thing I want to mention while we're here is see this big courtyard, and it looks like this was taken actually when they were having their but there's a farmer's market that runs through this courtyard into this area here on Wednesdays every week. And I mean, fresh farm goods, artisan things, all kinds of really cool stuff, but definitely something to think about. So zooming back out, we're traveling down the 19 because this is what we do in Green Valley. Most people don't take the freeway unless they're going to Tucson that are locals, unless they prefer freeway driving. But it is an easy way to explain where we're going. Is we're going from exit 65 to, so just to rewind us here, zoom back out. This is exit 69. This was exit 65. Now we're going to exit 63, which is the last original exit of Green Valley, I'll say. So this is the Continental Shopping Plaza right here. there's a Safeway, there's a Panda House, there's Brandy's Mediterranean cuisine, which is actually kind of a really cool, see if we can see it here. Can I drop a pin in this too? I would love to drop a pin right here. Yes. Awesome. So this is Brandy. See this like little part right here? This is an outdoor patio, and right there is where the band sets up. And the evening time in Green Valley, this is the spot to go. It says Javelina Run, which was the original name for it. Now I think they're calling it Brandy's, but it's a good place to go have some wine, cheese, get to kind of see and know your environment. So, and then ever since we're here, let's spin around and look at Suicide Safeway, as they call it, which is a funny joke, but it's a big open mall. Back in the early 80s when they started designing these type of malls, what they did was they put all of the parking in the middle and all the shops around the perimeter. That is great, but the problem is that a lot of elderly drivers seem to not be very aware of cars coming in and out. So I've heard Suicide Safeway, Fender Bender Alley, you name it. I've personally never been in an accident here, but I actually have seen cars flipped over in this parking lot. So not to scare you away from Green Valley, but just a cautionary tale. Quick thing about Safeway or shopping anywhere in the south of the Duval Mine corridor is that is in the non-incorporated part of Green Valley. And this is like a big secret a lot of people don't know about, is that sales prices are taxed at 6%. Versus if you were living in Sarita or Tucson, they're at 8%. Because the differences are how the tax structure is based is that your basic taxes are figured on state tax, which is about 4%. Then you have county taxes, which is about 2%. And then depending upon the city or the municipality that you are in, that could be anywhere from 2 to 3% to, I've heard Phoenix is even up to 4% in some areas. So just a fun, interesting thing I want you to think about when you're down here next time or looking at it. And then that's Continental Road up there. Let's jump out of this and get back up to the map so we can go back and see what we're talking about. All right. Wow, that was pretty zoomy. So here's Continental's exit here. A couple things. Post office down here on the right, fire department here on the left. This little fun thing right here is Desert Meadows Park, which you'll see another video on this because I'll talk more about this, but it's one of the part of the hiking series of Green Valley I'm kind of been telling people about. But if we go back over here to the Continental Plaza, if you ever need to find me, my office currently is at this Long Realty building here. So just get off the freeway, through the stoplight, on your left. Walgreens on the corner, there's a BMO Harris, there's a Kentucky Fried Chicken, there's a couple auto centers, but my next building of focus is the Continental Professional Plaza. This is a two-story building on 3 different two-story buildings which all have doctor's offices. So a lot of people talk about Green Valley and they go, wow, God, I can't live there. My doctor will be in Phoenix. Well, maybe, but if you do a little searching, a little digging, I think you'd be surprised to find there is care providers here for you that are local, and those are phenomenal. So now that we're on Continental, this is La Cañada. This neighborhood here is one of the originals. It's called the Acres, and there are some phenomenal mansions here. But these are all estate-style homes that are just to die for. I'm trying to find, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. There's a house I call John Wayne's house, which isn't really John Wayne's house, but this guy has, I think it might be it. No, that might be it. It's gated, but it's not the right. Anyways, there's a house here where there's literally a cowboy and Indian at the entryway, and it's the funniest thing since sliced bread. Oh, what's this, might you ask? Riddle me this, Batman. So this is Villas West, and this whole building, which is huge, by the way, is, let me get my little exploring buddy here. I've got things all over the place. here's my exploring buddy. Are you gonna get me in there? No? Okay. Anyways, this is Villas West. This is one of the facilities. Lap pools. This is shuffleboard. Yes, they still have shuffleboard. This is a big theater. Wood shops, artisan sales things on this side of the fence. Scrolling down to a few tennis courts over here on your left. All part of the GVR experience, which we've talked about in other videos, so I won't belabor it for you. But if you cruise on down here past Continental Road, we're going to come out to, now this is a development my brothers did, Patio Ridge, phenomenal, best built homes in Green Valley. The cracking you see from this aerial view is because these are county maintained roads, and as you can tell, sometimes the county doesn't get on them. Although I think they've been fixed by now. This is just, I'm sorry, my ADD is kicking in. Okay, moving over. So this is the CPAC campus, all AUA, Green Valley campus, whatever that means. But CPAC is the Performing Arts Center of Green Valley. And basically, you want to see a really cool thing, you would go to CPAC. They have dance groups, musicians that come perform, older guys, tribute bands, you name it. It's a fun time, and it's a big theater too. My daughter, I should show you sometime, is that she actually went down and performed in a CPAC, a couple performances for a few summers where it was an art thing. There's art on display inside. They have an open bar with most of their performances. It's a check it out kind of a deal. All right, backing out of here. So before we get too much into Snoozeville here, you hit Continental Road basically, and then you go all the way south. There is the Canoa Hills golf course. That's Torres Blancas on your left. Keep heading south. This is San Ignacio. Now this is really sad here, I think, but this is Canoa Hills Park Trail. This used to be the Canoa Hills golf course, which was, excuse my language, but phenomenal. I want to say effing phenomenal. And it went out of business, unfortunately, and they converted into these walking trails, which is basically 5 miles of walking old golf cart trails. Some people like them. I think it's kind of ugh. But anyways, it is there for you. There's plenty of better hiking out there. You can go to Madera Canyon. That's like 20 minutes away. You know, there's just trails. Like I hiked this great trail with my wife the other day that was like right here. And this doesn't look like much, but it was actually pretty cool. And there was even a spot in here somewhere. I don't know where. Where there was like this old, maybe, I'm sorry. I'm getting ADD here. Let's go task on hand, Tom. Come on now. These people are not paying for this video, so it doesn't really matter. Thanks for putting up with my shit. All right, so Canoa Ranch Road. This is exit, I don't know. But anyways, this is the Canoa Ranch exit. It's the newest exit in Green Valley. You go left over here and come back, and you're gonna hit the historic Canoa Ranch Park and a pond. Great for birding. Definitely something to walk around and take a look at. If we can drop you, we will. Nope, he don't wanna go. Oh, apparently it'll let me go over here. So this is kind of, the views are phenomenal. This is on the trail at the pond. They just didn't highlight that. But it's a little pond. Great place to pack lunch, kind of hang out. I'm sure you'll see a video pulled together me and my wife did of this in the future soon. But something to check out. And then you go on the other side of the road, and that's Canoa Ranch Golf Course. And this is the Canoa Ranch restaurant called the Grill on the Greens. And then this monstrosity is the golf resort, which is a kind of like a condo complex. You can buy spaces in here. It is just shy of $2,000 a month to carry one. So just something to be cautious with. And then I want to get into just talking about what I find to be problematic here. Is see how I'm just like zooming out in that little Canoa Ranch and see how it's getting smaller and smaller and, you know, in the background. This is where the Continental Plaza is. This down here is where the Canoa Ranch is. There is no grocery store, couple restaurants, and plenty of golf. So just don't forget a gallon of milk because it's a little bit of a drive to go get something. Other thing to talk about here is these interesting looking complexes you see on the mountainsides. These are the old mine. Oh, did I mention we have a casino, by the way? All you gamblers out there, this is the Desert Diamond Casino. Sorry. Let's go back to the mines real quick. So these mine tailing complexes you see here with these collections of water are actually part of a resettling process. So some people might see some odd looking mountains and they go, oh my God, what is that? Well, that's just how the mine tailings actually resettle into the horizon. It's part of a very natural process. And honestly, if we could, let me see if I can throw something out of here somewhere just to give us a look. Perfect. This is what they look like. That's an old mine. It's an open pit copper mine. They have a facility you can go to and they will talk all about it, all you want. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't bother me in the least bit. And it shouldn't bother you. But, you know, some people are cautious. They hear mining, they think all this stuff. It's not necessarily, I wouldn't grade it as a bad thing. That's your view right over there. That's what you pay attention to. But yeah, so it's something you'll see here on the map. All these dark green elements, these are pecan groves. And this is the little town of Continental. Up here on the other side here off of Madera Reserve Drive. These are high-end luxury southwestern homes. And then we get into Madera Highlands, which is actually a much more denser product, as you can see. There is a toll house section up here, which is very nice. And then you get into Stonehouse, which was a Don Diamond project that after he died, it kind of got really weird. I've been told that parts of this have been re-subdivided for higher density use. I don't know the details there, so I can't really speak on it. But I will show you Quail Creek, though. And here's the deal with Quail Creek. So I worked in Quail Creek for over a decade. This line right here that goes like that, everything that way is called the Santa Rita Experimental Range, which is phenomenal because basically it's unobstructed view of the mountains. Now, Quail Creek, you've seen some driving videos from me, but it has 27 holes of golf. It has a phenomenal restaurant called The Grill. Let's just see the photos here. Oh yeah, she looks thrilled. Thank you for videoing her. Food's awesome. This is the old bar upstairs. This is the view off the back patio. It's worth a trip. If you're interested in looking at new homes here, please come talk to me before you reach out to the sales center. They, if you do want any kind of representation, you need to have that done in writing before you walk in the sales center. Or just so you know, they might not allow the opportunity for you to get a better deal because of that. Just saying from experience, because I did work there for a period of time. This is a private dining room, so if you had a birthday party or something like that, it's phenomenal. They have live music. You know, I can go on for days about Quail Creek. But anyways, 27 holes of golf. Prices range from about the 330s to over $1 million plus. And then this whole area is gonna, my understanding is they own down to Old Nogales. They actually owned this side, but this was floodplain. So they owned to Nogales Highway. This is all going to fill in right here. All this area is going to be Quail Creek. And then I don't know if they ever did it or not, but this is called a section of land, and they were going to purchase this one and I think this one here up to Sarita Highlands. So, I would expect this to continue growing for the next 50 years or so. But as we get down here, we're talking pickleball courts. There's 32 pickleball courts in Quail Creek. So if you're a pickleballer, I mean, wow, look at that. You want to find a court, you can find a court. Here's the thing that is absolutely unbelievable. This complex here, and it's not completed, and it's not even updated on the map, which is too bad. But it is completed now. It's a $30 million clubhouse. It is the crown jewel of Ed Robeson and Robeson Communities. From what I understand, it's the best clubhouse he's had ever. And essentially, you have outdoor pools, indoor gym, restaurants, card rooms, pool tables, pizza grills. There is a dog barbershop and a people barbershop in there. There is a massage parlor, not the way everybody's hoping, but there is a massage parlor in there for people that do want to get therapeutic massages. And they have yoga, they have you name it. Anyways, phenomenal location. Definitely worth checking out. Quail Creek. It is a unique community in Green Valley, is that it is the only manned gated community in the area. So like when you're coming into the entrance, let's see if they'll let us get here. Oh, this is about as far as Google Maps will let you go. But this is your entrance to Quail Creek. Oh, maybe it'll let us go down the road. Nope, just more of the same. But you go in this entrance here, you can't see, the trees are blocking everything, but phenomenal mountain views. One heck of a place. And essentially this is my general overview driving tour of Green Valley. Just to go back again here to highlight what we're looking at. We start talking about Green Valley here. Is that really Green Valley, in my opinion, even though this is Cerrito Road, it almost starts there and goes all the way south here down to Canoa Ranch. There is talks of 400 new homes coming in south of Canoa Ranch. I don't have the details on that, or if it's actually going to come to fruition, but it is something to keep an eye out for. But Green Valley was ranked in Where to Retire magazine, is my understanding, as number 2 in the nation, only beat by the Villages. And a lot of this had to do with price. This had to do with drivability scores. This had to do with amenities for the location. So, don't complain to me there's nothing to do in Green Valley, people. There is tons to find, tons to do. And let me know in the comments if you like this type of explainer video, and I'm happy to do more of them, and we can get into more details. Maybe even look into neighborhoods that are sub 200,000, or if you're interested in 400,000 and above, that's pretty much luxury living in Green Valley. Again, thank you so much. Feel free to look in the comments. I'll have my phone number, my email. Any questions, call, text me. Let me know what I can do. Again, thank you. Tom Freeland, Long Realty.